We have a tendency to kind of talk about winning fights in the clinch. And so one way to start understanding kind of push-pull energy, making space and filling space is through some basic just wrestling pummeling. The pummel inside one, and then the other, and then I'm gonna work and do the same. And then ultimately we start putting the footwork with it as well. So again, we're learning to feel space as space is made. We're competing for space. We're feeling the two requisite energies that tend to happen in fighting, pushing and pulling. And then we can start putting both together, where we're still fighting for inside position and learning to manage that space so we can learn to manipulate the body for whatever else is going to happen. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ryan Hoover with Fit to Fight. We're going to look at just something that we use as a warm-up very regularly. But it's functional for fighting. So you'll see this kind of in a lot of different things that we do. We'll look at two kind of versions. So arm drags, one, if her hands are inside of mine, I'm going to chop to create an angle. So we talk about the elbow rule a good bit here. I want to get outside of Amber's elbows as opposed to staying inside where I'm most vulnerable. She has all of her weapons kind of available to her. So if she extends out, I'm looking to create that angle by manipulating her and then moving me. Generally speaking, it's going to be easier to move me than it is to move somebody else. So I'm kind of just chopping down at her forearm. As I do that, I'm going to reach to her tricep, pull her elbow across her center, and then I'm just stepping and pivoting out. There's obviously lots of different points of reference that we can look to hit off of that, but at very basic levels, I'm just looking to get a better angle, okay? And then if her hands end up outside of mine, we do more of a kind of a fan drag where my hand is going to face me. I'm looking to kind of move her hand off of mine. I reach above, same kind of point of reference, tricep, pull her elbow to her middle, and step pivot. So we have two kind of points of reference. Outside of my hands, I'm doing a fan drag. Inside of my hands, I'm doing a chop drag. You'll see this a lot in standing on the ground, being able to kind of control and manipulate somebody's angles so you can manipulate their body. We have a tendency to kind of talk about winning fights in the clinch. And so one way to start understanding kind of push-pull energy, making space and filling space is through some basic just wrestling pummeling. So we start in a neutral position. Amber has an underhook, I have an underhook, which means we each have an overhook as well. When we're first learning, I don't worry about the lower body too much. It's mostly kind of upper body centric. On my overhook side, I'm going to go flat palm to chest. I swim inside. If she's doing what she's supposed to do on her side, I don't really have to worry about that one. And we're just kind of trading positions. Once we have a good understanding of how to make the upper body work, then we start playing with the lower body as well. So on my underhook side, that foot is forward, and there's some exceptions to this, but generally speaking, as I go to pummel inside with my hands and I switch my upper body, I'm going to switch the lower body as well. And we're kind of just working back and forth, and it starts pretty compliant, and obviously it can start getting more competitive where maybe we're even trying to work for and fight for double underhooks as an example. So this is just upper body pummeling. And we can do something very similar to the biceps where I'm still looking for inside control, but this time on the biceps. So if I've got inside bicep control and I can go pinky side or thumb side, just be careful with your thumbs. Amber goes to pummel inside one and then the other, and then I'm going to work and do the same. And then ultimately we start putting the footwork with it as well. So again, we're learning to feel space as space is made. We're competing for space. We're feeling the two requisite energies that tend to happen in fighting, pushing and pulling. And then we can start putting both together, where we're still fighting for inside position and learning to manage that space so we can learn to manipulate the body for whatever else is going to happen.